Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another video here. So I wanted to break down the episode 6 trailer, but I wanted to focus on just one aspect of the trailer, and that was everything that we're getting with Connie and Connie's story, because obviously that's the most exciting part here going into this Sunday. We're likely going to see Connie's reunion with Kelly and everyone else. We're going to see Carol find out that she's alive, and we did learn some crucial information at the end of episode 5 that sort of sets this up. So yeah, there's a lot to discuss here. I also want to talk about that mutated walker because there's been a lot of theories as to what this walker could be or if it is a walker. And so, yeah, before I go any further, I do have to warn you that this will contain spoilers for episode 5. And if you are new here and you do want more Walking Dead content like this, then make sure to be a subscriber. The podcast will be, or the next episode will be dropping tomorrow. We'll be talking about episodes 4 and 5, so stay tuned for that. Or actually, no, we talked about 4. We'll be talking about episode 5. I got confused because we talked about 4 in the last one, like 3 and 4. So yeah, we're going to be talking about 5, and I guess we'll give our predictions on 6 and all that. So if you're interested in hearing me talk about The Walking Dead just and also with someone instead of just me rambling on for like 10 minutes, if you're interested in that, the podcast is available on YouTube here. The link is down below. We're also on Spotify. It's just the Forest Day podcast. I think the next episode is episode 13, I believe, which is kind of cool. Damn it, we should have released it today because it's September 13th. Anyways, episode 6, titled On the Inside. The trailer looks absolutely amazing. Obviously, we focus a lot on Daryl and what he's going through with the Reapers. We see Leah with Maggie, or at least in the same location as Maggie. But, you know, that stuff's exciting, and we'll talk about that, I'm sure, tomorrow or later on in the week. What I really want to focus on here is Connie and the whole, like, I guess, Kelly searching for her storyline, because that's going to be a big part here. You do see Magna, Kelly, and Carol finding Connie's notepad. As Magna's going through it, she says that she thought she was being followed. And so that line of dialogue right there shows that Connie was, I mean, that's really smart of her, first of all, to make notes of what was going on, because I guess like she can't really like verbally say it. She has to spell everything out. So obviously that's second nature for her to do that, to write those notes down. But that's what's going to help her be rescued here right away. And so Connie believes that she's being followed. And that right there, I never caught that in the trailer. I completely missed that. Or maybe I heard it, but I just didn't think too much of it. But like when you combine that piece of information with how Virgil reacts here in this scene, at one point Virgil says, "I don't understand what happened." And then Connie has to go to the wall here, and she has to carve into the wall, not alone, because she believes she's being followed. So at this point, they're in this house, and now it depends on where this house is. Is this the house that we see them running into here in the very beginning? Or does this happen later on in the episode? Is it like, it really depends on all of that. My prediction is that they run into this house here to get away from this creature. I do believe that Connie's just freaking out because she's seeing something, and so she's running away, and Virgil's just like, he's not getting what's going on here, and so he's kind of freaked out and just following her, right? Because once they get inside there, he's like, I don't understand what's happening. And this is in the morning, and so that's what I mean, like somehow this is a little different. But if you notice in the trailer, Connie is the only person seeing this walker, or whatever the hell this is, and we'll talk about what it could be in a second. But Connie's the only one seeing this walker. I think because of that, you do have to sort of question Virgil's past a little bit here, right? Like, either this is some type of mutated walker, or it is, or Virgil drugged Connie, because that is what he did to Michonne. He has a history of doing that to people, and so I like, that is also very possible. But again, I don't see the point in Virgil doing that right now, unless he just kind of snapped, and he's like, there's a reason why he came back, right? Like, he was going to stay on that island. He was kind of done. Everyone else left, and Michonne left, but he came back for a reason. He went back specifically to Oceanside. So it kind of, to me, at that point, it seemed like he came back because he was going to try and be a better person. But I mean, based off of the trailer, I mean, I guess that's still possible. But again, I think those are really the only two options, is that this is actually some weird creature, some weird mutated walker, or Virgil is up to his old like antics again, and you know, he's drugging Connie. Which, again, I don't get the point of. Like, why do that? So that's where I want to talk about this being a mutated form of a walker of some sorts. And I think it is possible that they could introduce this element of horror here, right? Like, it doesn't have to be the case for every walker, that every walker from now on is going to be, or we're going to start to see this trend where walkers start to mutate quite a bit. I think this walker could just be pretty messed up, and maybe is just very fast. Right, and so that's why they're running around. Like, this walker is more of a he's smart. Maybe he's more like half between a walker, half between a human, right? Where, because I could see that, like realistically, I could see that, right? Like if you're a human being and you turn into a walker, maybe you're decaying and you're doing, you know, you have those like basic biology of a zombie, but maybe you're able to do a lot like humans can, like run, and you're a lot more alert. And so that's why that walker looking through that thing to look at Connie, like, because that's the thing, walkers don't do that, right? Like not since season 1 do walkers really try to look into, and I mean, I think that would be a really cool thing too, because like that would clear up some of the old and weird things that walkers used to do in the very beginning. Because the explanation can be, well, you know, those walkers earlier on were more like a transition into the walkers that we eventually got, which were more decayed, and they were just like really like death. And so maybe there is like a spectrum of that, right? Like a spectrum from being alive to becoming a walker. And some, it's very rare, but some walkers end up kind of in the, or some, yeah, walkers end up kind of in the middle. And that's why in season 1, we saw them able to turn doorknobs, and you know what I mean? I think that would be a cool explanation. I think that's understandable and believable. Is that what this is going to be in the end? I mean, who knows? But that's why I come back to, what is Connie seeing here? Either this is real or it's not real, right? And so if it's not real, is she hallucinating, or is Virgil, again, like drugging her? Is that the type of horror story that they're going to get? Is Connie is seeing all this stuff, she's going crazy, but eventually she realizes, oh, Virgil's doing this to me. And then she tries to get away from him. And then in the end, maybe Kelly kills Virgil or something, but they rescue them, right? Or rescue Connie. Because I do believe, like, my prediction still is that Virgil's going to die in this episode. I don't think he's going to live this episode or survive out of this episode. But I also wanted to say one thing on like what this thing could be. This isn't what Maggie saw. I've been seeing a lot of comments on that. People are saying, well, no, it's not that. It's what Maggie saw. No, that's not the case at all. What Maggie saw specifically, like that walker had their eyes gouged out and everything. Like their eyes were missing, mouth was sewn. It was like very, very graphic. I'm not going to go into all of that here, but like this walker can obviously see and is following them. So it's not the same thing at all. What Maggie saw also was a few years ago. They're not running into that. And like, that's the thing. Whatever this walker is, has been following them for a while, because Connie is running away from it outside, right? We see Connie and Virgil running away from it outside. They run into this house and Connie believes that it's still following them, but we don't actually see it following them. And that's the thing. In the trailer, we don't see Virgil reacting to it. So is it even real? I think it's going to be a really great episode in terms of it being or feeling like a horror movie. I think it's going to be such a great episode. So I'm overall very hyped and excited for this. And yeah, I mean, I guess I'll leave it here. I do want to know your thoughts on this. Like, what do you think is happening here between Connie and Virgil? Is this a mutated walker? Is this a new type of walker that we're going to see that could explain some of the old, I guess, walker inconsistencies that happened in season 1? Because I know a lot of people bring that up, and whenever you rewatch it, you're like, what the hell? Like, it's immediately, like, you catch on to it. Like, how is that walker opening that door? Like, Merle had nothing to worry about out there based off of, like, current zombies, right? And so maybe there is, like, this spectrum or range, right? Where once you turn, you could either become that type of walker, which is the more traditional and the more common, or maybe there is like a mutation in it where some of your old self is there, and maybe that's more curable, right? Like maybe that's something that they can deal with the CRM. But again, this is me just theorizing right now. I think it is very possible. I think that this could be a new type of walker that we're seeing. If it's not that, and this creature that we're seeing is like something completely unrelated, then maybe it was Virgil, right? Like, I think that's also possible. Or maybe it's just, like, I don't know, like, what is it? It's got to make sense. It's obviously got to make sense. It's not what they're saying it is, unless it is that, which it is perfectly explainable, right? You're not having walkers talk or anything like that. You're just having them react a little bit more like humans do, which is basically just you're having them run, and you're having them be able to look into, like, you know, the eye holes and stuff on doors. So, like, I think, I just, yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it here. Make sure to post all your thoughts down below. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.